Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out this projector from Wanbo. Now you're probably wondering, what's a projector have to do with off-grid stuff? Well, I really wanted to see how portable a projector like this would be, and also does it compare to like a full-size TV when it comes to power consumption? And also, does it have all the features of like a full-size smart TV? So let's go ahead and open it up and see what we have. All right, when you first open up the box, you are going to find the Wanbo warranty card and the instruction manual right here. All right, and then we have a separate box right here. And that box contains a remote, the power cord, and some sort of filter. And then there's the projector. All right, now that we have this projector open, let's go ahead and look at the physicality of it all and the measurements and the weight. Well, when you look at the front of the projector, you'll see that there is a rubber lens cap right here, which is nice. And there is actually a glass lens on the inside, so it's not like a clear plastic lens, which is good. It says smart projector, and it also says autofocus and 1080p. On this side, there is a spot for the sensor for the remote, and then there is also a small camera, and that little small camera is what is used to do the autofocusing. So that's actually very nice. I also like the fact that this thing can swivel. It looks like it can swivel like 200 degrees. So it can swivel all the way from the bottom to all the way to the top and a little bit beyond. So if you set this on a table and shined it right towards your ceiling, you could actually watch a movie on the ceiling or straight ahead. On this side, you can see that there on each side there are like air intake and outtake. And then there's also a vent in the back along with the speaker that's right here. There's also an auxiliary jack for like headphones. There is an HDMI port right here and a USB port. And these two ports right here would be used for if you were going to connect maybe a laptop or something like that, or a gaming console to this projector. That way you could plug it into the HDMI. And the USB could be used for like a USB stick or a small portable hard drive to play a movie directly from the stick or the hard drive. All right, the measurements of this projector, it's a little over 10 inches, or it's right at around 10 inches in length. The height is right at 9 inches, and the depth is right at 7 inches. And this thing weighs in at 6.1 pounds. All right, when it comes to plugging this thing in, the cord that they give you is right around 5 feet long. And you can see that it doesn't come with like a power brick or anything like that. It plugs directly into the unit. So there's no option to use it from a DC source. But what I do like about this is that the plug is actually right here on the side. So when you plug it in, it plugs into the side of the base, so it won't interfere with like the angle of projection, which is pretty smart thinking. And also, looking at this remote, this projector actually has Android TV 11 on it. So you can actually get like over 7,000 apps for this projector. There's hard-coded buttons on the remote already. There is YouTube, there's Netflix, there's Prime Video, and there's also Disney Plus. Some of the other buttons are the plus and minus right here are for your volume. There's also a back button, a home button. These two buttons right here are for your manual focus if you ever need to do that. And then this button right here is to do another auto, to restart the autofocus. And then here's your direction ring and your enter button. Right up here is a user button. On this side is the settings button. Right here is your Google Assistant button. So you can hold that down and say, hey Google, and it will do voice commands. And then at the very top of the remote is the source button for your HDMI or your USB, and then also your power button. It does say that the audio, it will come from a 12-watt full range speaker. Let's go ahead and turn off some lights, plug this thing in and just display it right here on my basement wall. And first I want to see how much power it uses, because the whole idea of using a projector off-grid opposed to a TV is that maybe it will save a lot of wattage, because my TV upstairs, even though it's pretty old, I mean it's going on like 13 years, it's a 55-inch Samsung, still works great, but that thing uses about 200 watts while I'm watching TV. It kind of fluctuates between 183 and 212 watts. And I'm really hoping that something like this would use a lot less. So let's go ahead and turn it on and see what we got. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull down my EB3A here just to see if I can use a small power station like this to power up this projector, and then maybe we'll be able to see how much wattage it's actually pulling. All right, and one thing I do notice is that the remote does not come with any batteries. It takes 2 AAA batteries. All right, I really don't see an on button on this thing, so I'm gonna go ahead and just press the power button on the remote, even though the instructions say that you need to do a remote control pairing. So let's just go ahead and press the on button and see if this thing turns on. All right, the remote did turn it on, and now it looks like that. And it says welcome, but it's really blurry. And now I think it's going through its auto focusing. There we go, look at that. That's pretty neat. All right, and remember, I have all the lights on in my little basement studio here. I mean, there's a ton of lights, and this is actually still pretty bright. So let's just go ahead and hit the center button on the remote and say, let's go. All right, and now it's gonna ask for our language. So we'll go with English. Is this image okay? Yeah, I would say that it looks pretty good. So we'll go ahead and skip. This kind of shows you the remote instructions. So it says switch signal source, and then voice assistant, projector settings, shortcut keys of home, and quick focus. We'll go ahead and skip that. Congratulations, happy time is coming. Okay. Now it says to do the calibration. We're going to long press those 2 buttons for a few seconds. All right, and now the remote is calibrated. And then we'll go ahead and say English again. Quickly set up your TV with your Android phone. You can easily transfer your Android phone's Wi-Fi network and Google account to your TV. So I'm gonna go ahead and set all that up, and then I'll get back with you. All right, well, as you can see, I have it all set up. And since I have an Android phone, it was very easy. I basically just had to say what you have to say to wake up your Android phone. You all know what that is if you have an Android phone. And then you just say, set up my device. And it basically sets it up almost automatically. And then you just gotta click through the prompts, and here is your screen right here. Now, like I said before, this is what it looks like with all of these lights on. So let me go ahead and turn some of these lights off, and we're gonna see if this picture looks any better. All right, so with all the lights off except for one, this is what it looks like, and that looks really good. You know, and I'm only standing like a foot away, and it barely, the resolution looks really good. You can see that it already has. So everyone, it's been a couple weeks since I did that first initial review for that Wanbo projector. And I was actually so impressed that I went ahead and built out something in my living room to be able to watch movies and everything on this projector. So let me go ahead and show you what I have set up now. And it will kind of show you what all you can do with this projector. First of all, I bought a 100-inch screen and I hung it from right behind this wall partition up here. So that way I have 100 inches of viewing space. And I also had a little small Bluetooth speaker, because nowhere in the documentation or really anywhere does it say Bluetooth capable on this projector. It doesn't say anything in the manual, but it does say it has connection abilities. And if you actually go in there and go under, I think it's under remote and accessories, there's a whole list of all of your Bluetooth options. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this projector on so I can show you exactly what it looks like on the big screen. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you from my phone camera, because I believe it will show a lot better of a picture quality. So let's go ahead and switch that over now. Okay, first of all, I just want to show you that here's the projector, and I've got it connected to this Opus 1200 watt. So I've already got the AC clicked on, and it shows that it's got 56 hours left in the battery. Go ahead and use the remote and turn it on. And I just want to show you how much wattage it does take from this Opus as well. Right now it's at 105 watts, but the screen just shows the Wanbo startup screen. Okay, so that's what it looks like right now with all my lights on, and it is actually 10:45 in the morning. So as you can see, it's daylight outside. But let's go ahead and turn off all the lights and show you a little bit more of what it looks like. Alexa, turn off all the lights.
Okay.
All right, with all the lights turned off and it's still being light outside, that is what it looks like. And I would say being daytime, that looks pretty good. Click on YouTube. And let's go ahead and turn it on to my favorite channel. And as you can tell, I mean, this looks pretty good. And the sound is coming from the projector right now. Now, if I turn it up, you can see that the screen does show the volume control. So yeah, the projector looks really good, and it's filling up that 100-inch screen very well. And another thing I said, it does have a Bluetooth capability. So if you go ahead and just turn on this Bluetooth speaker that's already paired to it. See, and now this is from that little tiny Bluetooth speaker.
Honestly, I don't think it will.
And honestly, that Bluetooth speaker, I think I bought that from Amazon for like $30. And it could be a lot better. I'm actually looking into getting one that's like triple that price, just so I can have full sound. Because I like it when the sound comes right from the picture and not from the projector, because it does feel a little bit of a disconnect. So if you get a projector, I would definitely recommend maybe investing into like a Bluetooth cordless rechargeable speaker. That way the sound could be just that more full. But overall, even though being 10:45 in the morning, the projector is putting out a very vibrant, bright display. So I am really happy with it, thus making me want to invest in more equipment to be able to actually use this in a permanent basis. And this whole time that it's playing, we're only using 100 watts, which is awesome. Actually, I can get 7 hours out of this Opus. And if the power did go out, I could still just use my phone and just charge it with these USB ports right here and put on my hotspot on my phone. So that way I could have internet access, I could still have all the comforts of home even though the power's out. So if you have any questions about the Wanbo 1080p smart projector, please go ahead and leave them in the comments. I'll have a link to this item and everything else I used in my description, just in case you want to look further into it. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and have a great day. Bye-bye.